Okay. What is going on, everybody? Well, the time has come after literally waiting 5 months, 6 months, or something like that. I can't believe it's already May. The title week is upon us. It is upon us. And this is probably one of, as somebody who created this thing a long time ago, this is something to see this finally happen is a lot to say. And a lot of people were expecting this young man right here to make the title fight from his very first fight of pretty much ranting on George Lucas and incest, which is probably still the greatest moment in life. But I'm very much joined for the first half while Evan's going to be working with Jen. The streak himself, Mr. Dohmen. A couple questions I want to get into before we get into the official title match Wednesday. How you feeling, man?
I'll be honest, I'm nervous. Because obviously I've got a much better record in the fan movie fights than I do in my own fan movie trivia schmodown. But
yeah, exactly.
Here's the thing, though. Yes, I've had greater successes, but those successes were much harder fought because my wins in the fan schmodown league were really close. Minus my knockout of poor Adam Schultz. But in this it's been tough. It's been a very close win each time. I barely edged out Matt twice, and then the action match against him and Jono was insane.
Yeah.
Probably my toughest match of the day, and I'm amazed I came out on top, even though I did struggle a couple times there with a couple of my answers. But to be fair, I had a few a few adult beverages, as it were. But yeah, no, I'm looking forward to this because this. Yeah. You want to talk about a challenge?
Oh yeah.
I couldn't ask for anything better.
This technically is Rocky versus Apollo Creed. Now, who's Rocky and who's Apollo Creed? We'll find out. But the thing is, for a lot of people, I know what you guys are gonna say. Where the fuck is the last fighter standing? Well, it's coming. I promise it's coming. And I will say, I know Chris can agree. It's worth the wait. And it's something special because you get all these people into one, but you see these two kind of spoiled, but these two came out on top. And you're talking about people who joined it, and we're not going to reveal who the mystery guest was, but like you had all these people who were coming after you and some guys who really know their stuff. And when you're in the Schmodown, it's different. But when you're in fan movie fights, like I've said, it's like the WWE of fight movie stuff because you literally are giving your every single breath to this. And Chris is 5-0. So Chris has literally gone through every single path he has got to this point. Now, the question is, he's nervous. But like all of us, including myself when I faced Dohmen, when I beat him. But I mean, like, everybody gets nervous at times, but it's also this pointed thing where Chris and Jen are the only people who have never lost a single fight. And unfortunately, I'm 0-2. Everybody else, but going into this match, this is like the big event. We are changing things up. We're making this kind of our attitude era. We're extremely letting people more in. But this is interesting because we're getting into knowing more about these characters. So going into this match, what are you most afraid of coming with Jen?
I'm just most afraid of her stealing all my answers, because in the matches that she's been in, a lot of the points that I would have made in terms of what I would have gone for in terms of my answers, she made those points.
Yeah.
She and I are pretty like-minded in that sense, and I really respect that, but I'm also terrified about that because if I'm going up against her and I have to make those points as well, I'll just have to see how I do.
And the worst thing, look, a title fight is a title fight, but the thing I'm going to say is if you win, it's about holding on to that. And that's the thing. The challenge is right ahead of you, but you also got another face because we've just recently announced we're going to be having a summer fights. But if you are Jen Wing, you automatically will contend for that for the title. But your match ahead of you is it's Matt Beer versus Evan to face Aaron Turner for the #1 contenders match. So you literally got 3 guys who have faced you for mostly, besides Aaron Turner, who have come at you before. Saying right now, say the fact if you do win, out of these 3 guys, which is the guy you think will be more hard to take on?
Aaron Turner because I haven't fought him before. I can outfight Evan. I can outfight Matt. As I've done it now 3 times successfully. But Aaron Turner, he's 3 times action fights, bro. Come on.
Forgot.
But Aaron is a wild card because I know he knows his movies.
Yeah.
He knows a lot of movies.
Somebody who's faced him and came back, but just didn't have the heels to get up to him, he's tough. And he really is tough. He is definitely our Brock Lesnar in this world because he's literally a force where he will go through anything to take you on. But saying into this, the fight is Wednesday. You're feeling great. You have any last words to Jen Kim?
I do. And look, Jen, I have nothing but the highest respect for you.
Good.
And I'm saying that, as a member of Schmoville, I'm saying that as viewing you as one of the few actually good admins on that page. And I do have to say, every time you fought, you've given me a little bit of chills because, again, you're in depth, how in depth you can get. So, Jen, I'm looking forward to our first match. But know this, I will not hold back. I will give you my all. And if I come out on top, I will hold your hand up high with mine. Well, virtually.
Well, as we're getting into this, I'm going to give my prediction because, unfortunately, for a lot of people, I have a family death, which is happening this week. So I will be at the fight at the very end, but Evan's going to fill in for me, which I really respect. I'm actually picking you. And I'm saying this for a reason, is because I have literally helped create this thing. We have a lot of new contentions and things like that. But I've seen Chris fight, and I've never fought Chris. But if we ever had a fan movie bowl and Chris was not the champ, you damn right we would have a main event between me and Chris. That would probably be the Brock, like it's the main event. But this is something different because Chris, look, I love Jen, and she's incredibly one of the best fighters I've ever met, and she's beaten me in classic movie fights. Pure luck. I mean, look, you say what you will, but Chris has came back. He's beaten Matt Beer 3 times. He's beaten Jono. He's beaten Evan. And in the last fighter standing, he took everybody out in his path with 1 win. And he knew what he was doing. And I'm going to say right now, I think it's going to be close. But out of 4-3, I think Chris will win 2-1, and he will take home the very first title and see his full head retained because I think he is the Undertaker of this thing. I think he's unstoppable. And when you face somebody like Chris Dohmen, you know he's going to fight. And say what you will about the Schmodown, but this is his yard. And I would not mess with him for this. But going into the new era that we are developing, is there anybody you think, before we head out, that should join and bring themselves into the fan movie fights world?
Oh, geez. Well, I mean, I'd say there's a bunch of fan Schmodown competitors I'd love to see in this thing. I'd love to see maybe like
absolutely.
Some of my guys at Take 3. I'd love to see Jacob Blunden maybe try this out, and maybe see Lucas Schildbach step in.
He is coming in. We just don't know when.
Okay, perfect. Guys, him, that would be.
Yes, I'm going to say right now, if you were in the title match and he came back, that would be a title for the WrestleMania of us because that's something like that. But as somebody who says, please, I know he's not going to listen. Case, main event, fan movie bowl, please with me because this is the event for people who will see the Schmodown soon. Please consider it because this. Everything that needs to happen. I mean, this is a guy who I think would absolutely devastate, and I want to see Matt Beer and Matt Kearns on fan movie fights. It never happened.
For round 2.
But here we go. That's it, my predictions. Chris Dohmen, congratulations for getting this far. You need to prove that you need to stand here, and on Wednesday I will be present. I'll be an hour late, but I think we'll be like halfway through the match. But I will be present, and I hope for the best for you. I hope for the best for Jen. Evan is going to be here tomorrow. He's going to be talking with Jen about, or whenever he can, about what her perspective into all this. I will be giving I'll pretty much give my predictions, but we'll give it that on the Facebook page. So follow us at Fan Movie Fights. I think it's a public group. Follow us there. Chris, where can the good people find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at my band, Last Shot Redemption, at LSAR Band MN.
Very
You can
good.
also find me in the Fan Movie Trivia Schmodown League, both the Facebook group and on Twitter at Fan Schmodown. Apparently Jeff Snyder likes us, so that's something.
Yay! He probably doesn't like me. You can find me kicking Case's ass this week whenever that match goes up. And you can also find me goofing off, watching movies with The Rock, and making movies on my own. Chris Day Official on Instagram. We just hit 225 followers, which is awesome, by the way. And I also have to say a little pat on my shoulder because I haven't talked about this. My movie, The Target, which we were aiming for 250, has passed the mark in 5 months for 1,000 views. Very big thing for me as well because coming into this. But I want to thank everybody saying this. For everybody here, this is title week. We will have a prediction show. We will have everything else. Rookies are starting next week, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And as always, good luck to Mr. Dohmen, the streak. And we will see you guys on Wednesday. Fight on.